What's up, associates? Welcome back to the Anime Association, and I am your host, Kyle Tim, times 10, and I won't stop saying it until you say it with me. That's right. And today we are talking about One Piece episode 1126. But before we get into that, go on ahead and smack that subscribe button and click that notification bell to stay up to date on all things anime. But like I said, today we will be talking about One Piece. This episode, if you read the manga especially, really hits differently. So we start off with Kuma waking up and breaking free of what the revolutionaries were doing to him, which we can only presume was fixing him up. It's a little bit more clear in the manga, but I will say the manga outdid itself with the panel of him breaking free because that was just a very cold moment. And if you have the chance, I would go read that chapter. I can't remember which one it is. We then see him use his power on himself, the pawpaw fruit on himself, and he bounces himself to the red port. Now, we have kind of already presumed, I know you're going to hear that word a lot, that he can use it on himself, and it makes sense that he could use it on himself. It's a devil fruit that is like rejects whatever is around type of ordeal. But then he ends up landing into the red port, and of course they're making it seem like he's some type of monster, escaped slave that's going on a rampage and going to hurt everybody. And that's we know that isn't what it is, but it goes to show the power of the world government, especially those that are living closer towards Marijois. Finally, he makes his way up to the top, and he does an Ursa shock on the world nobles, and that's kind of crazy that he did that. And what's even crazier is that there was a world noble that didn't get knocked out from this. So we know Kuma is powerful. So I think while yes, he probably wasn't at his fullest, so maybe that's why the fact that there was a celestial dragon that didn't get knocked out from it, I think it goes to show that there's something deeper to them. At least that's kind of the vibe that you get when you're watching it and seeing all this stuff happen. And then here comes Akainu. Now, the last time we seen Akainu in actual action was Marineford. So we see him staring down Kuma saying, "Hey man, you're not supposed to have this free will. What are you doing? Like how are you doing all this?" That's pretty much what Akainu is telling him, but he's also knows he has to stop him right here and right now. So we see him do the magma fist. No, I take that back. The move is called Hellhound, and he punches Kuma slam in the face, and you can it's very similar to what he did with Whitebeard. The anime doesn't show it, but in the manga, Whitebeard has his whole face blown off by the same move that he ends up using on Kuma when Kuma runs away, and then we see Kuma once again use his move. Now we get to the Kizaru versus Luffy stuff, and we notice that Kizaru gives Luffy his props for being strong in Gear 4 Snake Man. So we see the arms bouncing all around, and Kizaru says, "Oh, I can see why you beat Kaido." And you know, whether you argue if Luffy did it one on one or not, because it's always if in a one on one fight, always bet on Kaido. You know, there's a good argument that Kaido didn't get taken down one on one by Luffy, but that's a discussion for a different day. But I will say it brought up a question of could Kizaru beat Kaido on a one on one? Because the fact that he said that while fighting Luffy on a one-on-one makes it seem like, hey, I can do it. You're pretty strong, but I'm feeling like I'm stronger than you. That's kind of the vibes that he gave off. And then Luffy asks Kizaru, why do you want to kill Vegapunk? And when he asks Kizaru that, we see Kizaru kind of in like a state of shock. But then we see it's really like he's reflecting on stuff. So he flies up into, the stratosphere, and pretty much he's talking to himself. He's not talking to Luffy. Now, if he did this to go to a totally different place, like so Luffy couldn't hear him reflect or whatever, but he says, I don't want to kill him, but please stay out of my way. Because he really doesn't. And we can see that through his reflections throughout these recent episodes. Then he flies down and kicks Luffy. Just goes straight through the Vega Force 1. And we hear him say, like, we don't hear him say, but we hear Vegapunk say something about this is the dreams of humanity. Because he's pushing things forward. And Kizaru does feel bad about it. And you see Lilith breaking down, and then they all run away. And then we see Kizaru walk up to Bonnie. Now, at this point in time, we already know that Kizaru is tied in with Vegapunk and Sentomaru, but we also know Kuma is tied in with Vegapunk, and same with Bonnie. So it's only good to reason that Kizaru is tied in with Bonnie. And so she goes to attack him, and he's like, I don't want to hurt any more associates. But I feel like he's saying associates to try and stop himself from feeling bad for, beating up his friends. And then he ends up kicking her into the dome. Now, mind you, they told us that the dome can kill you. So is she dead? Is she not dead? This is what I want to ask, my anime watchers. Is she dead? So we go from there to Kizaru appears in front of Vegapunk, in between everybody. And everybody just completely shocked because of how fast you can't outmove light. You just can't. Right? But there's one person that seems that can move just as fast as him. So we see Luffy coming back, and he's in Gear 5. Hilarious moment. Eyes bulging out. Ow, 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 and he's on fire. Puts himself out. He turns around. He's laughing. And then we see Kizaru's eyes get to moving around really quick. And we still don't see Luffy there yet. So is he like this is what the confusing part to me is. What is he looking at? What is Kizaru looking at? So we see all this stuff. Luffy comes running past the sky. Lilith and Frankie are just in a state of shock. Like, what did we just see? Then here he comes. Everything standing still but Kizaru. All of a sudden, Kizaru looks up, and behind him, you see this big hand coming down, grabbing him. And sure enough, it's Luffy laughing, right? And Kizaru right then and there already knows, like, this is the form that's on the poster, and he's kind of been waiting for it. Like, that was the energy I got from it. And then we end off the episode with the robot's eyes turning on. Now, I'm not sure if y'all remember because it's been 6+ months ago, but Vegapunk said there was nothing he could do to turn this on because there's a different power source. So what is it about Luffy that turned on this robot? What is it about Gear 5 that turned this robot on? I think that's a really good question because it's not even that, because when we saw Gear 5 against Lucci, we still didn't see the robot move. So what is it? What's different about it now? That's what I want to know. Uh, and I truly can't make any predictions because I've read the manga and I don't want to spoil anybody. But for my anime onlys, why don't y'all go on ahead and let me know down below what y'all think is going to happen within these next few episodes and how the what's going to happen with the Gear 5 fight, what's going on with Kuma. Just let me know what y'all think about it. And before we go, before we wrap up the video, I just need y'all once again to smack the subscribe button, click that notification bell, and also leave a like in the comment. Share it to others if you do like it. So, once again, I was your host, Kyle Tim, times 10, and I'll catch y'all next time. Deuces.